Wicca, Yule, and Hecate. What do they have to do with one another? And what is the winter solstice? Well, in the Northern Hemisphere, the winter solstice happens in December, and this year it's on the 21st. So depending on when this video is posted, it's either tomorrow or tonight. And if so, happy winter solstice to you, and thank you for checking out this video. Let's get started. The winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere happens in December, and this year it is on the 21st. It's the shortest day and the longest night of the year. It's also the astrological beginning of winter, when the North Pole is tilted away from the sun about 23.4 degrees. An honorable mention to the Southern Hemisphere at this time, they are celebrating their summer solstice. In Wicca, the winter solstice, or Yule, is one of 8 Sabbaths during the ever-repeating course of the year and is considered a minor Sabbath, according to Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. The 8 Sabbaths are split in half, 4 major and 4 minor. In this figure that you see on your screen, you will see that we have Samhain, which is major, Yule, otherwise known as the winter solstice, which is a minor Sabbath, Bulk, which is major, Ostara, otherwise known as spring equinox, which is a minor Sabbath. We have Beltane, which is a major Sabbath, Letha, which is the summer solstice, minor Sabbath. We have Lunasa, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, sometimes called Lammas. This is a major Sabbath. And then we have Mabon, which is a minor Sabbath, also otherwise known as the autumn equinox. On the longest night of the year, the Holly King is at the height of his power. It is cold, it is dark, but the Oak King snatches his crown and now becomes the predominating god of this part of the year. Though the night is long, the sun will set a minute later each day. And surely as the days begin to grow longer, we come to Ostara, which is typically around February 1st, February 2nd. It's when we acknowledge the heat ready to spring forth. During this time of year, it's good to contemplate about the wheel, about this winter solstice, the meaning of the long night, how it really coincides with life in all aspects. This is actually a very good segue into how we can celebrate Yule as a witch or a Wiccan. And one of the best ways to celebrate is lights, lights, and more lights. You can decorate a pine tree like a lot of people enjoy doing at this time of year. Lights, lights, and more lights, remember? You can even decorate it with your own ornaments if you choose to make them. You can prepare a Yule log, which is traditionally oak in Wicca, but you can use a different wood, like cedar wood, different types of pine, for example. And before I forget, each wood has a different meaning, so be sure to look that up as well. You can also start up a fire pit and burn your wishes on paper or bay leaves if you would like. You can light up a special candle on your altar and contemplate the meaning of what this night symbolizes. You can contemplate how long this has been going on in the history of this planet. There's a lot of ways to celebrate Yule as a witch, a Wiccan, or a pagan. For those of you who may not be able to light a candle or start a fire in a fire pit, don't just start a fire for the sake of starting a fire, please. Another idea is to make a simmer pot. They're popular and they're less of a fire hazard if you have difficulty lighting a candle or any other kind of fire. And what a simmer pot is you are combining the element of water, you're combining fire, you're combining air because the scents that you will put into the pot will get into the air. And it's just a great way to evoke in all of the energies that you want to evoke in, such as protection, health, brightness, calling in the sun, divination. You can really just name it, actually, at this point. During the longest night, you should contemplate the cold and dark nights ahead. And as the sunlight begins to wax, meditate on this liminal period. It is still dark, yet the light is growing in strength. The sun is born. It's the exact opposite of the summer solstice, otherwise known as Letha. How will this solstice energy and the changing season affect you? Let the firelight and the scents wafting around you put you in a trance as you consider rebirth. We are now moving through our darkest nights, and at the other end is the light of the sun, growing and expanding across every aspect of life. We celebrate the rebirth of light. What do you wish to bring into your life as the darkness wanes and the light waxes? Think to yourself, what would I like to bring into my life? What would benefit me? What could benefit others? Which brings me to Hecate and how she plays a role in my solstice celebration and how she can play a role in yours too. Hecate and Yule. Hecate fits into every aspect of my life, and I can tell you, just from living and maintaining my relationship with her, it has only deepened day by day and night by night. That being said, for myself and others, she has a lot to do with the longest night of the year. This is a very liminal time. It's a great time for renewal, rebirth, shadow work, yes, still shadow work, and goal setting among other endeavors. So naturally, I want to call to Hecate Phosphoros, light bringer or light bearer, because she illuminates the darkness. Hecate Sotiera, the savior, or the world soul, the creating spark of life. Hecate Curatropos, child nurturer, protector of pregnant women and children. This epithet is famously used for Artemis as well. Both goddesses were greatly and widely honored with this epithet. Hecate Nectaria, or Nycteria, nocturnal of the night. The longest night of the year. This makes sense. Last but not least, Hecate Githonia, of the earth or underworld. All gods who are earth or underworld have this epithet. And by earth or underworld, they walk this earth, they move back and forth between this realm and under the earth. So Hades, Persephone, they would also be considered chthonic gods. There is a link below to a Pathos blog by Matt Oren, and he lists a whole bunch of her epithets, and it's in the description box below along with other citations for this video, so please be sure to check that out. To wrap up this portion of the video, today we acknowledge the winter solstice and New Year celebrations as Yule, as Christmas, as Hanukkah, as Saturnalia, St. Lucia's Day, and Dongzi. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, and that's only to name a few. There's so many more, especially when it comes to the Southern Hemisphere and their own traditions. We have so much in common, including emphasis on lights in the darkness, gift giving, and that lovely spirit of giving that we all enjoy. This next part of the video will be a winter solstice prayer that I wrote personally in honor and inspired and to the great goddess Hecate. One more thing before we start. If this video has been informative or entertaining or just fascinating, please give me a thumbs up or share or comment. It helps me in the algorithm. Thank you. Now, if you will breathe with me, breathe in deep 3 times. Great Mother, I honor you. I call to you, Hecate Sotiera, Savior and World Soul on this winter solstice night. I praise you, Nocturnal One, as you are surrounded and comforted by darkness holding your twin torches, shining bright beacons of light. Hecate Phosphoros, light my way forward, guide me to the correct path always. Hecate Kyrotrophos, protector of women and children, goddess of midwives and childbirth, I honor you and remember your loving embrace, which guided us all into being. Hecate Chthoniya, you who walks this earth followed by ghosts, dogs, and restless spirits, please accept my offerings and hear my prayers. Great Mother, Titan, as you travel amongst the stars, see all of our fires rising high into the night. Feel our breath heightened and our energy bright as we call on the energy of the sun. Shine your torches of mercy and severity into the shadowy parts of our lives. Allow us to see what we need to see and know what we need to know in our work as witches. Grant us your blessings of renewal, introspection, and rebirth. On this Yule night, I honor the triple-faced and snake-girdled goddess of witches. Hail to the long night, and hail to thee, Hecate, Hecate, Hecate. Blessed be.